What's up guys, Adam here from my Houston backyard garden. In this video, I'm going to take you guys along and harvest some things from my garden, give you an update on my garden, and give you 4 gardening tips along the way. So let's get growing. So the first gardening tip on this garden tour is when to pick butternut squash. So I have a few butternut squash on this trellis right here. Most of them are not ready to be picked, but I want to give you an example. This one right here has a green stem, so that means that this butternut squash is not ready to be picked. I want to wait until it has a brown stem. So this smaller one right here, the stem is starting to turn brown, so that means it's ready to be picked. So my second gardening tip on this gardening tour is when and how to pick your cucumbers. So I have a nice looking pickling cucumber right up here. So we want to twist and never pull, because you might pull the entire plant vine down. So this is a good size for a pickling cucumber. You don't want it to get yellow, because if the cucumber gets yellow, that means the vine thinks that the plant has done its job and it's going to start to die. So if you pick them while they're young and green like this, you're going to get more cucumbers. So one little update on a section of my garden. A couple weeks ago, I made a video on how to mix your own garden soil using mushroom compost and a few other ingredients. Check that video out. There will be a link in the description and a card above. But anyways, I planted eggplants and okra, and everything seems to be growing very well. Again, it's been 2 weeks, so mushroom compost seems to be working very well for these vegetables, and it's something I recommend that you guys try too. So my third gardening tip on this garden tour is about what kind of peppers you should grow if you want to make your own chili powder. So right here I have some cayenne peppers. Obviously cayenne is a really good chili pepper to use for chili powders. But over here right next to it, I also have some orange Thai chilies. These are also really good and add a really great flavor to your chili powder. So we're getting here, pick a couple. So there's a few on here. So over here we have my yellow habanero plant. This is going on 3 years now. I have a net over this because the birds were eating the blackberries. There's a ton of chilies in here, if I can just reach them all. I saw a nice blackberry too in here. Wow, so it looks like a bird got to this one. But this one's pretty big, and a bird did not eat or pick at this, so good snack on later. So these yellow habaneros are good for dehydrating as well, and I'm going to use these with the orange Thai chilies and the cayennes and a couple other chilies to make a chili powder. So stay tuned for that. I'm going to show you guys how I make my chili powder. So I have a few herbs in this garden tower right here. If you guys want to get one of these, I'll have a link in the description. But what I'm picking today is some stevia. What I'm going to do with this is dehydrate it in my dehydrator and then use it as a sugar substitute. So the second update in this garden tour, I want to show you guys how my red roselle plants are growing. If you guys don't know what red roselle is, it's a type of hibiscus. You can use the flowers to make a jam or tea with. So I originally had these in pots, but I decided they were starting to get root bound, so I transferred it into my garden bed. So as you can see, it's growing pretty well. There's no flowers on it yet, but I started it from seed about 2 months ago, so it's growing pretty well right now. So my fourth gardening tip on this gardening tour is to use mulch. Not only does mulch look very nice in your garden, but it also keeps your plants hydrated. It's a good alternative to grass, and by using mulch consistently, you're actually going to build up your soil quality, which is going to help your plants in the long run. Alright guys, so that was today's gardening tour video. If you guys found any value in any of the tips I gave today, please consider subscribing and liking the video. And if you guys want to learn how to make your own chili powder, go ahead and check that video out next.